So will Texas make the college football playoff? The answer has to be yes, right? I mean, if Alabama beats Georgia, are we going to sit here and pretend that Texas didn't beat Alabama earlier this season? Are we going to sit here and pretend that, honestly, this is a Texas team that should have just played App State. It should have just played Western Carolina. They could have played Abilene Christian in week 3 or week 2 or whatever it was, and would have been just as fine off. Is that what the committee coming out this week? And I shouldn't be pissed for Texas. I shouldn't have to sit here if the Big 12 has took care of business this year and put Texas where it's been in its place the last 15 years. That's where Texas has been the last 15 years. I wouldn't have to have this conversation. But as somebody who's not here to support or blow hot air up your skirt, I don't revel in the fact that Texas won the Big 12 championship. I'm not trying to make a case for Texas because I'm a big homer. No, it is just objective. It is what's right here. They beat Alabama on the road. If Alabama beats Georgia, Texas gets in over Alabama. Texas did what it needed to do in the regular season, won the Big 12 championship 49-21, 13-0 Florida State, sure, yes. If Georgia wins, sure, whatever. There's a case. If there are 4 teams at 13-0 conference championship winners, you can't leave them out. I get that. I understand. That's fine. But in any event, where Louisville beats Florida State, not even close. No chance. Texas is in, period. In any event, where Alabama beats Georgia, I know that this entire thing is built off of ratings and money. And if Alabama beats Georgia, I can promise you Texas is not going to get in. Should they? Do they deserve to? Well, I make a huge stink about it. Absolutely. But if Alabama beats Georgia, they still might put both of those teams in. And the committee will come to you and say, yeah, you know what? Most years it was about ratings. You know, most years wasn't all ratings, but more resume. This year is about ratings. And now they're going to give you some kind of convoluted, confusing. We feel like we put in the best teams here, and that's what matters the most. The best teams. What happened to building a resume that's college football playoff caliber? Texas did that. Texas marched through the Big 12. Sure, there were close games. A close win against Houston, a close win against TCU and Kansas State, a close game against Iowa State, a competitive game against Iowa State, but they just, in front of the entire country, won 49-21. You got to put that team in the college football playoff over Alabama. And if Alabama beats Georgia, transitive property, baby, over Georgia. Would Texas beat Georgia right now, with or without Xavier Worthy? I don't know. I'd love to see that game played. I'd rather see it played than Texas, a team that took care of business and won a Big 12 championship, held out of the postseason because of some silly, we're only doing resumes as much this year. We put the best team. Who's the best team? How? Why? Because one of those teams, Texas, already played Alabama and won. Odd. Now, do they make the case the Big 12 is a joke? That is going to play a part in this. Will they leave Texas out of the college football playoff, citing a weak Big 12? Despite Oregon having the 62nd strength of schedule, and I know Oregon's out of the conversation now, but 3 days ago, everybody wanted Oregon over Texas, despite Texas having a top 15 strength of schedule. The Big 12 is so bad, right? And Texas just blew through a terrible conference. I find that odd. It's an odd rhetoric to bring up when UT had such a tough strength of schedule this year. And UT took care of business. Again, I don't revel in it. But guess what? They have the resume to go, and they should be in the college football playoff. Now, Texas, congratulations, whatever. 14 years, and you might say, this guy's petty. This guy didn't want to see Texas win. This guy's holding a grudge. And all those things are true. I mean, you would too. If the biggest, baddest team, the Longhorn Network squad left the conference and you were a fan of Kansas State, it wouldn't rub you the right way. I think Big 12 fans have every reason to hold a grudge against Texas and OU on their way out. And the best way to avenge that grudge is to keep Texas from winning a conference championship, to keep Oklahoma from winning a conference championship. And what we just saw in the last year that Texas had the opportunity to do it, not only did they do it, not only did they win, they won 49-21. All right. Now the Big 12 transitions into a new era of college football where NIL and portal are huge. Now Texas moves to the SEC where they have to compete in the SEC West with Oklahoma and Arkansas and Texas A&M and Alabama and whoever the SEC puts in there and however they work out the schedule. And when that happens, great, fine, dandy, go do it. I'll be right here with the Dose Grande. Hoping that the Big 12 puts a lot more emphasis and focus on the winning on the field thing. Let's make Iowa State a powerhouse. Let's make TCU a powerhouse, somebody. Please. And less focused on Nelly at halftime. Maybe you enjoyed that. But most of those songs were older than the players that are on the field. Great. The Big 12 looked awesome today. Nelly got less attention than the Dr. Pepper halftime challenge. What if the Big 12 just started doing Dr. Pepper halftime challenges at every single game? Maybe that's a better marketing scheme than Nelly or the guy that sang the national anthem or whatever. Texas hadn't been winning the Big 12 championship a lot recently. At all, actually. But you got to give them credit because the last possible time they could do it, it's exactly what they did. And not only did they win, they did it 49-21. You finally took your resources. You finally took your head coach, the right head coach. You finally took all the power or the 5-star, 4-star recruits, top recruiting classes in the Big 12, and you finally won with it. And so the last memory the Big 12 fans will have of the Texas Longhorns, 49-21 Big 12 champions and college football playoff, not only contenders, they should be there. All right, let's play ball. I'll break it all down the rest of the week. This has been and always will be. Thanks for joining a live edition of the Dose Grande. Locked on. Thanks for making it your first listen every single day. I'm going to take a nap or something, have a beer. That was awful. Dose Grande.